Okay. James plays Caesar 4, the Empire. Ephesus. I think it's level 4. It's an economic mission. We still get harassed by raiders. Gotta have 7,500 people. In Part 4, we hope to get there. But right now, we're saving up some money so we can get some exotic goods for these folks. In Part 3, we expanded the city quite a bit to try to get to our population. We added another neighborhood of middle class to make sure we can give 100% culture to all these people. And we put in another neighborhood of people here. Might even have to expand it out a little bit more into here. I don't know. I'd like to put whatever we need because these guys got to have everything too. So with this Ephesus, we do a lot of these overlays. Entertainment, odium, no good. Need an odium. Theater, doesn't reach. Arena, oh, arena does reach. Well, that's good. That gets everybody. I won't have to put in another arena, but I do have to put in a Colleseum. We have the money, so let's do that. Put in a Colleseum over here for everybody. Where we planned it. Let's see if it reaches. Doesn't quite reach these guys. And up here, it does look like it reaches all the way up there. So that's actually a pretty good place. Just missing these few people here. Oh, okay. Well, you can see where we need to take this. Out farther if we can. Just on this side. You know, just a little bit farther there. Okay, let's normalize it. And alright, it's just there. This is easier. So now I'm doing this. And we hook it up there, we get it right out of the way. And that works. I think that'll be enough. Don't need any of this. Right? Yeah, this should work. Are we paused? We are. Yes. There we go. Excellent. And now we got room for a Colosseum over here. And that should be fine. 100% now. Yeah, that'll reach. And yes, we need a Trainers Guild. Trainers Guild, yep. We have to extend that road out to here. Didn't do it. Okay. Now we're selling weapons and we're selling everything we need to sell. Okay. Colosseum. Now we need a Trainers Guild. Trainers Guild need wood So that's up to this side of things. Okay. I'll let them get wood up here. Yeah. That's good. And he'll go out there and get wood. We'll get Colleseums for everybody. And I think we need also... Oh, it's not always nice. Food. I think we need what? An odium out here? Let's see. Yeah, we need an odium. %, so that hasn't quite reached these guys. They're up against it right there too. Well, maybe, I don't know, it doesn't look good. Maybe, let's see. Clinic? Let's look at clinic. Okay, I got a clinic on a nice place there. But we've got a problem if we can't get an odium up there, but what if we could do this? Nuts. Can't do that. And there's absolutely nowhere to put it. Could take that, take out that, is there no road back there? Oh yeah, there's a road. Just doesn't go. I suppose if I pull this back, I can put an odium in here maybe. Do have 4,000. It is November, but heck with that. Let's see what we can do here. We'll pull this back just a little bit here, maybe to here. See what damage that does. It doesn't reach these guys or that fountain. Can't move the wall. Can't put this on, can't put a reservoir up here on the hill. Look at that, it almost lets you do it there. So I gotta put it back here. Yes, there's no way around that. Okay. Don't know what I'm going to do about that. Sure wish I knew what I was going to do about that. Anyway, maybe they'll let us slide, but maybe they won't. Can't see that there. I'll make sure these guys are good with desirability. I'll stop all that. Take care of these guys. And pause for a perimeter check. Guys in the corner there. And is there somebody over there? No. Aha, a sneaky little snake there. Anybody else? I think that's it, honestly. I really do. So, where do we got? Somebody way over there. We're on pause. They're over in the corner. We'll do a perimeter check just to make sure. Such a large map. Make sure we're not being snuck up on. Okay. Oh, there's water over there? Oh, wow. I got a hidden water source over there. Look at that. Those tricky buggers. That might come in handy. Maybe. Huh. No, there's water over there. That's tricky. Hey, he's clever, developers. Do you think we can finish this in this part? Part 4? I think so. You know, like I said, the end game here is the challenge because you have to get 100%, which is really hard, but fun. Still, it can be done. I did it before. All right, there's this guy and the guy in the corner. So go over here. Turn these guys on. Get them out. Let's go. The war music. Now we got towers now to deal with.
My name's Gaius Marius, and I'm an army of one.
Maybe. We'll go here.
Nos permoveo.
And these guys.
Remember, it's not just a job, it's an adventure. Nos permoveo.
Nos permoveo over there. And those guys. And we'll scoot over here. Get our yin yang here.
You don't have to be crazy to join the Legion, but it sure helps.
Each part has their battles, you know. Part 4 of Ephesus. And I believe Paul of Tarsus, most traveled man in the ancient world, apparently went to Ephesus and Corinth and all around all the Greek cities, Philippi, all of the old Greek cities. He wrote letters to the congregation trying to talk them into his way of looking at Christianity, which was very different than the original Christianity. Much more Romanized Christianity because he was Roman. Paul was a Roman. He was a Roman Jew, but he was a Roman. Traveled and shipwrecked and went to Rome and died in Rome apparently. Beheaded like a Roman citizen, not crucified like a dirty criminal. Okay. The enemy is standing still. Our troops are going out to fight the farther off enemy as our cavalry comes up to get this enemy. And here they are. Riding out to get the other enemy here. $5,000 so we can start to open up the last of the trade routes. Ship some marble. As soon as we get this battle finished. Comes the cavalry. Excellent. Yeah, a nice cold beverage here, but it got a little too cold. Put it in the freezer, because my freezer doesn't usually freeze it, but it did this time. Just letting it melt. January of 134 AD, and that's appropriate. Paul was trying to redefine Christianity. To him, Jesus wasn't an historical figure who lived in Nazareth and all that. To him, it was more of a spiritual power, the Christ. He never met the historical Jesus. Paul, of course, on the road to Damascus, fell blind. He had a vision, you know. Okay, those are chosen. So where you thought you were going, but you got to get these guys before they start throwing torches. Let's go. These guys out here too. They're gonna start throwing torches. Here they come through the woods. All right, we got them. We got them. They're gonna get wiped out by those towers. As they're throwing torches, how dare them? They'll have to stop now because they have the cavalry coming to wipe them out as it will. There's no doubt in my mind. My boys got this. Charge! Yes. And back up, guys, to charge in. They're charging. Make quick work of these guys. There you go. And once they're taken care of, you could even perhaps back up these guys if they need it, but I don't think they will. So just archers. I'm gonna get them. There goes an arrow from the wall. Arching out there. Good shot. I just took that guy out. There you go. I don't believe there's any other enemy around. Yes. And now they threw a couple of torches, that's all. Alright. That's that. Now 7,200 people, so we're pretty close, okay? Oops. Close to our target. Oh, need another, what, 300 people. All these guys got to bump up, and we can take some of these out because we won't need them all. But what we do need is to go around to all our guys again, bring in some exotic goods. And we will do that. Plenty of wood, plenty of iron, plenty of wool. Doing right good on that. The enemy has been defeated. Good. So, we gotta find our imports. We gotta go up here. This is important. And open up our trade routes. Dacia, Mesopotamia, and Egyptus, or Egypt. Very good. And now we can run over here. Find our exotic market, which is on this side of things over here. Alright, and lay in these nearby. Let's see, where could they go? Oh, about. Alright, well, I'll put them up here on this hill. Ephesus. They don't need to be inside the city. And Dacia. Okay, we got a road. Goes in there, but I don't know. Can we get a gatehouse over on this side? That one right there is pretty good. Yeah, so down in the dell there, but that'll work. Make it easy. Over here. Okay. We shall import whatever they got here. We'll buy a little bit of that, and we'll buy a little bit of this, and we'll buy how do we spend all our money on here? We're going to spend all our money on this and go deep into debt if we do this. So what we'll do, we'll just do one at a time, okay? We'll do, this is the cheapest, let's see, this stuff, amber. We'll buy a little amber, just to get us started. Putting a gatehouse in, is that what costs so much money? Oh, getting all those trade routes, that's what it was. Yes, we had to get all the trade routes. So we did. So I want one of these up here. Keep it safe. Maybe is there a warehouse possibility up here? And we'll make this the depository of all the good stuff. Salt, papyrus, honey. For me, the worst of it was that I wanted to be an art teacher by profession, and I thought that was a good way to be for me because, you know, you get a lot of time off to pursue my other interests in the summer. The summer's off and just about a week a month, except for a couple of months there. You get a week every month. You get that in the factory, you have to work 100 years to get that. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. Give that a shot, right? And I got my degree, you know, I did this student teaching and learned how to do it. I worked for many years as a counselor for mentally ill, mentally retarded, physically handicapped people. And eventually I got a job as a teacher in an elementary school for emotionally disturbed children that had been taken away from their abusive families. I was a third grade teacher. I ended up being the music teacher eventually. I was the computer room teacher. I had a great principal. She really kind of got me. You know, sometimes it worked like that. You had people that kind of got what I was about and saw that it wasn't just childish. But I really had a sacred calling and was a very intellectual, you know, philosophical cat. And I wasn't a fool, and I wasn't a drug addict, and I wasn't a irresponsible hippy dippy dude. I wasn't. I worked hard and I did my best. And as time went on, eventually, partially because of my beliefs, I was unjustly treated, I think, in a lot of jobs that I had in that field. And eventually I found my way to other jobs, you know. I wanted to return to my hometown. I wanted to take care of my mom, who was elderly and got Alzheimer's, and I wanted to help my dad take care of her. I ended up getting married and trying to get the old traditional life going. It didn't quite work out that way because I tried to be an art teacher in the schools in my area in upstate New York, a very conservative place. Not where I live now in the capital, but up in the mountains, you know, where the rural people, the farmers live. That's where I'm from. I'm from dairy country. And I'm very proud of it. I love dairy country and I love the farmers and the animals and the whole deal. But a very conservative area, and they are not very nice about it, a lot of people. You can see it in Congress. Our dear representative, Elise Stefanik, is nothing more than a bully, in my opinion. And a racist one at that. But I was not always treated badly. There were certainly certain schools that enjoyed my approach. I wanted, most importantly, to get a position in the school that I worked at near my home. I lived in a little town called Fort Ann, just off Hadlock Pond. Nice little cabin in the woods with my high school sweetheart that I married and her kids. Had a nice little life there in the 2000s, and I taught school, but I never could get a permanent position. They let me be a substitute, and I was a substitute, and I taught art and every other subject in the area schools, 9 area schools in my area of little towns called Fort Edward, Hudson Falls, Glens Falls, Warrensburg, Corinth, Whitehall, Saratoga, all the towns around the area, Lake George, Bolton Landing. And I taught them in all of them, and I taught everything on the curriculum. I could teach just a little bit of everything, and sometimes with things like advanced math or other things that I didn't know about, I couldn't really teach that. I'm just letting the money build up here, guys, while I'm trying to fill out all of these, get these all up. We got our target population. We can get rid of some of these guys. We don't, once we get there, or 100, they'll keep growing, and then we'll, in the end, when they're all evolved, we'll see what we can do. But
more attention must be paid to our city's prosperity.
Prosperity needs exotic goods, so we're struggling with that, but we finally got our first stat here. And we're not doing too bad, but we'll get there. Security 0, of course. But we're building up money, and so we can afford to buy some goods here. And all our trade routes are open now, so we're doing part 4 stuff. But like I said, this is difficult. Let's try to buy some of that exotic good amber. It's the cheapest one. We'll buy that. Did I do
more
my
attention
thing?
Must be paid to our city's
Our city is
Sorry.
enjoying the fruits of as much trade as possible.
Thank you. So amber, we got 7. We need 14. And my experience was, in general, in the schools that, the young people saw that I was different. And so did the older people. And the students were glad of it. I think I've mentioned before that my friend Steve's sister was a nurse in Fort Edward School, and she said that she saw some students that were not very nice students that she said would eat substitute teachers for lunch, but she overheard them talking about me. Said Mr. M, they used to call him. Mr. M's coming in to teach art for our teacher who's out. And they were like, oh, that's great. He's a lot of fun. He's really cool. Well, my theory was to treat the students with respect and with courtesy, as a professional would, like as if they were colleagues and we were working together. To model professional behaviors by treating them with respect and appropriate respect as you would any coworker in a working environment. And I thought to model that kind of respect and that kind of behavior would teach them not only whatever their subject was for that day, but some of the social skills they might need to prosper in life as well. And I also wanted to be an example of an older person that really enjoyed their life and wasn't sad about being older, and try to show the young people that being older wasn't all that bad. You could still have fun, and you could still, be cool and be creative and artistic, because I was, I made no bones about it, especially if I was teaching music or art, And I was looking forward to eventually being hired as somebody saw what I could do. And it was about that time where I was interviewing for permanent jobs and not getting them, and I was quite disappointed. that I was asked by Fort Anne School to teach a lesson on the French and Indian War for a social studies course. Now, the social studies teacher had to become the assistant principal because the principal was retiring and they needed somebody to fill in until they could get a replacement. So they asked me, they said, would you like to take on, like, it'd be like a month or a semi-permanent position, at least for a month or so, until we can get a replacement. And I said, sure, I'd like to do that. And they said, well, there's only one problem, though. The class that you'll be teaching, this 8th grade class, these students are like the worst students we've ever had. They have no respect. They are really hard to deal with. Nobody can deal with them. And they're just terrible. And we just want to warn you, it's not going to be easy, especially as a substitute, because they're going to tear you up. And I hope you're up to the challenge, and I'll be there if you have any problems and all this. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm up for it. And, it's funny. And again, you can say what you want about my view of the world being kind of Pollyanna or whatever, or childish fancy, as some would put it. But it just so happened that I was reading a book on Tecumseh, the Native American hero of the French, of that French and Indian War and the War of 1812. And I just read his biography. It was this huge book, but I had just read it. So I was well versed on the French and Indian War from my own personal researches, right? So I could teach it from the Native American point of view as well as the typical point of view. And so I started, my teaching of this terrible class. Well, guess what? This class was full of a lot of really intelligent, passionate, beautiful people. And, I am a true teacher in that I do love my students and I respect my students, and I thought that these people were extraordinary, in my view. And the students really responded to me. They used to say, Mr. M, you don't talk like a teacher, you talk like us. And, they appreciated, quite frankly, being treated with respect and not bullied by tyrants, which is the traditional way, right? Our educational system is based on the military. It's a military system. And, it's based on that old idea that the adults bullied the children around and then you have to do exactly what you're told and all that stuff. 8,320 people, so we're doing well. We got some evolution taking place. Excellent. They want more exotic goods. Okay. I'll give you some more. As soon as we can. Maybe can we do it this way? Maybe shut these guys off and then buy these guys. Buy some spice. Yeah, I like that idea. Maybe we can get through this. At one point, it was this wonderful social studies teacher, Mr. Bowmaker's name was, at Fort Anne. Before the old principal left, I went in to teach, and I was sitting on my lunch hour, and I was watching a video. Again, I'd already watched it with the children, because you know how they have videos for substitute teachers. It was a video on Elvis, and it was great. So I'd watched it with the kids, but I wanted to watch it again. It had all Elvis's music, and so I wanted to listen to it. So I was listening to it. And as my habit is, I don't like to waste time. So I was also drawing a portrait of Gandhi from a book cover. It was black and white. And I was using Conning crayon on black paper, white Conning crayon on black paper, and doing it sort of a reversal style. And it's one of my favorite drawings that I've done, especially my portraits. And I did this portrait, and the old man who was retiring, Dr. Fitzgerald, his name was, the retiring principal of Fort Anne, came in and happened to catch me there. And he came into the room because he said he liked Elvis, and he heard Elvis music playing, and he was kind of wanting to check it out. He came in, and he sees me, and he goes, "And you're sitting here drawing, and you're quite something." And we had this really nice talk, and couple days later, I'm still teaching the same class, and there's no problems. Nobody's going to the principal's office or anything. There's no problems. And so apparently Mr. Boatmaker and Dr. Fitzgerald decided to find out why there wasn't any problems going on, because everybody else had problems. So they stood outside the door and listened to me teaching. And after the class, they came up to me and they said, you know, we've never heard anybody teach like you do. You can really relate to the kids. It's quite amazing. They're very complimentary. And in all my years, I've never seen anybody teach like that to children, to treat them the way you treat them, and you talk their language, and they obviously really like you. And it's extraordinary. We've never seen anything like it. And we thought you'd be, you know, ripped to pieces, and here these children are coming in for added time with you so that they can, you know, I told them that if they wanted to come in, I could teach them some study skills. And I did. I taught them how to take notes and how to study for a test and that sort of thing. Because I always thought that junior high school students weren't really versed in how you actually do it. You know, it's kind of like pre-college kind of instruction, but how to take notes and how to, you know, all that. So, and I think they enjoyed that. We're giving them some justice here. So a lot of they were actually coming in for extra time, and they couldn't believe it. You know, I don't mean to brag, you know, but I am proud of it, you know, because I did have a very unique style, and very kind and courteous and generous style for the children, and it worked. Now, a lot, again, just like in every other job, a lot of people thought that it wasn't right, that I was popular with the children because I didn't really deserve it, because I didn't have any discipline and, you know, all this stuff. And they were wrong. I had all the discipline in the world. One of my favorite things to do is I had to talk to some kid who was cutting up or trying to, you know, test my limits or whatever you want to call it. You know, I'd say to him, knock it off, get back to work. Okay. He'd keep on cutting up, keep on messing with me and stuff. And I'm like, hey, you know, knock it off. A third time I had to talk to a student, I'd be like, all right, pack up your books there. You're going to the principal's office. And they were like, what? I said, well, I talked to you 2 times. This is the 3rd time. You're still not doing your work. You're still cracking jokes and distracting other students. And, you know, I asked you just to knock it off. You said you would. You didn't. So now you're going to the principal's office. Oh, come on, Mr. M. You're cool. Don't send me to the principal's office. Like, sorry, pal. You're going. So sometimes they'd get teary-eyed and everything, you know. It's junior high school students, right? They're not necessarily as tough as they like to think they are, you know. They're still little kids trying to be adults, and they're hilarious trying. They do try, but they don't really pull it off. Not in my opinion, anyway. Okay, how are we doing? Now we got to have exotic goods. We got to save up money. This guy wants exotic goods. Yes, okay. They get right to the door as they're heading out to the principal's office, and I'd stop and I'd say, oh, hold on a second. They're like, what? What does a person do when they're wrong and you know, what do they do? Apologize? Yeah, apologize. I go, why don't you give it a shot? I'm sorry? I'm sorry for what? For disrupting the class? I'm like, okay, good. Now sit down and don't let me talk to you again. I've given you your last chance. You apologize like a man. I accept your apology. Please sit down and get back and get to work and stop cutting up. Worked every time. Every time. Well, So time goes on, and I taught that class, and I came back to Fort Anne a few times to teach some other things. I taught gym, I taught French, I taught English, I taught music, I taught art, I taught phys ed, I taught anything and everything. And I'm lucky if I made $10,000 a year in those days as a teacher, because we didn't have a union, had no representation, we were subcontracted work. It's quite the ripoff, really. Because I studied as hard as any teacher for my degree. It really wasn't fair that I got paid so little. But it was long after Mr. Bowmaker had gone back to being a social studies teacher, and the kind old Dr. Fitzgerald had left, and they got a new guy. And this new guy was straight out of the Marines. Big guy, jar head, buzz cut, and definitely Mr. Military. You could tell. You knew these guys. Now, he didn't know I was a veteran. He just saw me as a long-haired, bearded hippie freak. One day, I'm pulling into the school. I pull into the parking lot. I get out of my car, and this principal guy comes running out of the school, screaming at the top of his lungs in front of all the students. Miss Mandelaire, what are you doing? You cut off that school bus. You went in front of a parked school bus that was unloading children. I could call the state police right now and have you arrested. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I just turned into the parking lot. You see me later. So after my class, I went to see him. I said, what was that all about this morning? You're yelling and screaming at me, disrespecting me in front of the students? What are you doing? I didn't do anything wrong. You know what he said? He said, yeah, I know, Jim. I said, first of all, my name's not Jim. It's Mr. Mandelaire. I'm a professional teacher, and I really appreciate it if you treat me like one. With all due respect. Yeah. Another school, I did a lesson on the Crucible, the Salem witch trials. We were watching it, and I did a little lecture, talk afterwards about what a witch hunt is and how people rush to judgment. And some Pentecostal students went home to their Pentecostal father or preacher father, and told him that I said it was okay to worship the devil. I, of course, never said anything like that. But I got called to the principal's office, and that's what they said. And I was like, well, that's ridiculous. I'm a devout person myself. I'm not a devil worshiper. What are you talking about? I was talking about that was a witch hunt. And I went back to the class after that, and I said to the students, now you've made me the victim of a witch hunt by telling your parents or whatever you did that I'm a devil worshiper. I got in trouble for that. And I'm like, I'm trying to make a living here. I'm not a devil worshiper, and I never said anything about it. I just said you got to be tolerant of people who are different than you. And I quoted Jesus. If you love people who are just like you, what reward do you expect for that? The ignorant do that. But I was never called back to that school again. Another school, I was called a racist because I did a 3-day lesson on civil rights. So I was called a racist by somebody because of it. And I was told to leave the school in the middle of my school day. And I had to walk home because I didn't have a car. My wife had the car. And I had 20-mile walk. Some students picked me up walking down the street. Mr. M, what are you doing? They kicked me out. They called me a racist. I had a hard time. It was this person, these people they have. This guy was a superintendent of a rural school. I mean, Fort Anne is as rural as you could get. I don't know how many students, but there weren't that many students in the whole school. This guy's pulling down $100,000, $150,000 a year. He's a big fat guy wearing his big fat suit, strutting around. He had this smile on his face the whole time he was calling me a racist because he knew He knew that he was the racist, and so was the person that reported me for saying the N-word when I didn't. That was the way it was, man. There was nothing I could do. Alright, well, we're in the hole again. We're skirting the hole, buying all these different exotic goods, trying to get to 100% here. Gonna have to shut it down. But we got them in, so maybe they'll evolve. I got to get to 100%. Gonna have to see some top-notch. The mansions are going to get all the way to the top. All right. Wow, look at all these weapons. We got weapons. We got all kinds of weapons. We just gave a bunch to Caesar. We're selling them. Stop getting this too. We have to stop and build up our money again. But let's see what we got here. This guy's evolving anymore. Healthcare. Healthcare. That is a hospital. Mercury. Thanks, buddy. I want to buy him off. Put a hospital over there. Gotta go to health. Hospital. Okay. I need another hospital. I have great coverage, but oh, that's pretty far out. That's no good. Actually, I got a lot though. We can get one over here. This becomes problematic because of this wall here. So close. Let's see. Will this work? Okay, that's better. Buy off. We had 3,000. We're buying you off. Okay, oh man. Maybe we can put a hospital in here. There. Does that get everybody? It does. But now we need basic goods market. Where can we put that? Alright, well that's good. That'll work. Okay. And now a luxury goods market somewhere. Anywhere. Will fit. No. That's so close. Can we move that wall back a little bit? Yeah, we can. Maybe that'll help. Bacchus making folks happy. That's nice. I'm going to make sure that's good. Now we want a market. Luxury market. Oh, look at that. There it is. We're back in business. Good. And we got a hospital too. Hygiene. Hygiene is easy. Hygiene means barbershop. So go over here. Barbershop. We're getting there once you get up to the barbers. So 10 minutes left of this part. Let's hope we can finish this up without too much ado. There we go. There's a barber. Everybody's got to have one, but they're easy. Easy. Okay. Okay, we got to find a spot, boys. That's partially why I didn't fill up that square. 100%. Oh, gosh. Alright, let's go to normal. Alright, we just need one little spot. That'll do it. And we'll go back to barber. And we'll go back to health. And put in a barber shop right there. Now get almost everybody, but not quite. Of course. Okay. That's pretty good. Need one over here. That didn't work. What about I can't even see in there. Alright, we got a little spot there. A little spot that won't fit. Let's keep going then. Okay. Oh, man. Ship it. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's everybody. Except for one guy. Okay.
Our city is enjoying the fruits of us.
Our city's cultural standard needs work.
Education. Prosperity. 58 favor. We almost have that one. Culture 69. Okay, now what? Exotic goods. Exotic goods. Alright, well, we have to wait. Look at how these guys are, though. They're almost there. One more shot, and they're there. We see our weird Easter egg in here. Look at all the room they got. A lot of room. Looking for our weird table. It's sometimes in these. Alright, well, we just need money, I guess. So let's speed it up. Try to get to the end here. We're very close. Just need money. Now we're in the red. Why? Oh, because we're importing stuff, I guess. I don't know what. The only thing we're bringing in here, I think, is yeah, these guys. All right. Just waiting to make some money here. That's all right. We can do it. We have to go to another part? I hope not. It's all humming along. Everybody's got 1,500 people more than we need. We might want to cut down on some of these people. Let's see what
More
our
attention.
Our city needs more workers.
430. And we got all the guys we need and then some over here. So one thing we do need to do is take out these guys and put in these guys. Well, that's quite a population drop. It's okay. It's okay. We can lose it. For the sake of these guys. Oh, it's below what we need. But that's okay.
Our city needs more workers.
Okay, that went way down. 420 more of those we need, so that's a lot. There they go. $6,000. I'm just gonna wait until December. We'll watch these guys bump up. We're getting to the end of the part. We may need to come back for a short part to win. Look at this behemoth. And we need to put in a library. We need to put in a circus. Well, we need these kind of guys first. 7,480, so 20 more people and we'll win the population. Almost got 10 grand, so that's good. We can afford to buy our goods and services here. We know they got everything because the other guys had them, so just have to wait for these to bump up. 136 AD. In the Roman Empire. The Flavians have long gone by now, I think. They're still great Roman emperors, Justinian and Marcus Aurelius and all them to come. The empire, great rulers. They had bad successors. Was the problem with the empire. $10,000. I think we can go back to. There you go. You want some gold? You can have it. We should be making some points there. Just waiting for these to get to full mode to make sure we have all that we need. Let's wait for them to move in. Here they come. $7,500. That's what we needed. We also desperately need
Our
these
city
guys.
needs more
250.
workers.
Still need more. And we could build more over here, but then we'd have to give them all kinds of stuff. You know, it's just never ending. Okay. Now we waited till December. $10,000. I think we can go ahead. Open up these trade routes. We get everything they want. Scoot over here. Ship it. Let's see. The weapons guys over here. There he is. There you go. Who did we forget? Oh, it was a drastic change in lighting, wasn't it? Alright, this guy's got salt. Gotta get salt. Okay. Gotta have salt. Gotta preserve our stuff. Lots of clothing over there, huh? What else we got? That's that guy. And the marble guy. Lots of stuff. This guy gives basic goods, so we don't want. Alright. I think that's all that we need. We got some amber. See what else we can get. Alright, we're down to 3,000. Okay, we got papyrus, we got spices. We got honey. They're eating it right up, huh? I'm just looking at the store and I'm looking at how many they have. We got 8 amber. Well, that's what they said they needed, so that's what they're getting. It's alright. It's hitting us pretty hard here, but it's okay. That's what we need. Alright, good. That guy evolved up. That's good. Well, I gotta put in a library. I know I'm gonna need libraries. 100%. Mercury. Thanks, Mercury. Alright, we're over for this time, so let's go to part 5. I hate to do it, but because it's only going to be a short episode, but that's okay. Let's not make this get too long. So we'll bid you adieu from the Roman Empire and Ephesus. We're almost at top level. Just waiting for exotic goods to come in. Education means a library, so I got to plan a place for a library. But library has a great reach, so we should be able to find a place for libraries, but that'll wait for the next part. Thanks a lot for liking, subscribing. Hit the subscribe button. You never know what I'm going to come out with next. You're certainly going to want to watch me play Civ 6 because I have a lot of fun with that too, and all the other crazy stuff that I do. So come on back. We got our population 10 grand, so we should be okay to win the next city. And we'll be on to a military mission. Because believe it or not, this is not a military mission. That'll have to wait for part 5 coming up. Alright, thanks a lot now. Really appreciate your likes and your comments and your views. Means the world to me. Really appreciate it. Thanks for coming along and listening to my tale of woe. The backlash against the hippie movement was pretty harsh. I was busted 5 times for silphium. Snuck up on them in the woods and stuff, but we'll talk more about that in the next episode. Thanks a lot. See ya.